Hello, my name's Randy Howell. I'm with the Patriots Jet Demonstration Team, and I'd like to share a few points with you about crash, fire, and rescue in case you ever had to come get me out of this aircraft. So this is our jet aircraft. It's powered with Jet A fuel. The fuel, it's about 350 gallons of fuel in total, about 300 gallons right up in here in 5 bladder tanks, and then about 25 gallons on each one of the tip tanks. The inlets are right here, so if you approach us and the engine is running, you can have some vacuum effect here. If you approach us, the power was at full power, be very, very careful because there's a lot of vacuum here, as well as a lot of exhaust out the back. So if you approach the airplane and it's on fire, there's a couple places that you can get extinguishing agent into the engine. One is in the inlets, of course, of the airplane from the front, also up the tailpipe of the engine, and then down along the side underneath. There are 4 large panels. It takes a blade screwdriver, and there's about 15 screws around it. They're all quarter turns, takes about 15 seconds to get that down. Then you can get to inside the engine compartment if you've got a small fire. I would not recommend opening these up if you've got a large fire in there, but for just getting out some hot spots in the end, that's the place to go. Okay, if you have to extract us out of the airplane and the canopy is closed, the first thing you're going to do is lower the step. It's the same for the front cockpit as it is the rear cockpit. Now, to open the canopy, it's going to be locked, is you push the button right above the E here on Cinejet. You push the button, the handle comes out, you rotate it clockwise. It is now unlocked. For your safety, you may want to push this back in if you're not time critical so that you don't get injured. You're going to step right foot first, left foot second in the hole, and then canopy comes up. Push on the handle only. Don't push also up here. It can kick the canopy off the airplane if you do so. Canopy's open. Now, when you first approach the airplane, the first thing you want to do is get power off the airplane. There's a bunch of switches right up here on the right-hand console. The far left switch is the battery. If you just get that one switch off, top left switch, it's going to depower the whole airplane. Second is you're going to want to get the fuel off of the airplane or the fuel off of the engine. So you're going to pull this lever all the way back. That's the fuel shutoff. That's going to shut down the engine if it's running. It's also going to prevent fuel from leaking out through the engine compartment if it was ruptured down in that area. Next, we're going to look at the seat belt attachment. It's a 4-point harness. First, it's very important. You can't squeeze these without lifting the safety latch. So lift the safety latch, squeeze, and now all the belts come off. Over the shoulders. Now it's important here, on the legs, these straps will drop. However, the leg strap comes across the thigh, and then it's got to be pulled out of this loop on both sides. Otherwise, you could pull on the pilot and he not or she not come out because the leg straps are caught. So pull both leg straps off. Now you can extract the pilot. Now, if you approach the airplane and it's on fire or we're in a time critical situation, we're going to extract the pilot without pinning the seat if the airplane's on fire, because we've got to get him or her out very rapidly. However, it's really important, 2 things. One, that the pilot's legs on extraction don't catch these handles. Now, these handles for the ejection seat have to be squeezed, one or both, then pulled with a firm pull twice. Okay, so that's most not likely going to happen. However, here's the real problem. Over here is the Canopy jettisoning system. When you pull this handle down to 90 degrees, that activates two pyros that launch rods 16 inches right here. So if you're leaning over the edge of the canopy rail and this handle gets pulled down, you could have a rod go right through you. So you've got to be really careful about this handle. If you were extracting a pilot, his foot got caught on here, and then you went to get another hold on him and lowered his weight onto the handle, it could jettison these rods. So with time permitting, you're going to reach right down here to the left of the left hip of the pilot, and there is a bag, a leather bag. The seat pins for the front and rear seat are in that bag. There's two critical pins that need to be put in if time allows. One is this pin that goes in the canopy jettison handle. With that pin in, this handle will not come down below here. The second pin is in the top of the seat. All of these pins are just slide-in pins, except up here in the seat head. It's a screw-out pin. Here it is right here. That's going to go right in the head of the seat, and it gets screwed in. As long as that pin is in, as well as the pin in the canopy jettison handle is in, you're going to be safe. Now the rest of these pins down here is not critical to keep the seat safe, but if time permits, get those pins in. So once you've extracted the pilot, and before you leave the airplane, we want to get electrical power off of it. There are 4 slotted screws here. They're quarter turns. You can lift the panel up, and right here we disconnect the battery with the Elcon connector. That's all it is to it. So if you get to me and the airplane is upside down and you're going to cut the belt, please hold on, get a couple guys to hold on to me before you let me go so we don't break a neck. So if the aircraft is upside down on its back, this is 7/8 of an inch plexiglass canopies. You can break the glass with a crash axe, preferably in the corners rather than out in the middle, in the corners, and then peel it up like an eggshell. We can also get airbags underneath with whatever equipment you've got available to you to get the airplane up some, depending on the situation and how deep the cockpit is buried.